Good morning. This is the Great Basin prescribed fire and weather briefing for Monday, February 26th. On the map, just a few projects here in purple circles being described, and some ignitions of what would be considered a wildfire in some maybe isolated dry areas, but small, less than an acre or so, up in Idaho. Now, observed precipitation in the past 7 days, fairly light across many areas. Only areas in the green are over a ½ inch to an inch. We see that in parts of the higher terrain, especially of Utah, and maybe right up near the Salmon River. But by and large, a lot of the storms have been missing the Great Basin. Drier than normal week for the most part, except across northern and northeastern Utah. Now, the snowpack doing really well across the higher terrain of Nevada and much of Utah, where it's above normal by maybe 10 to 30% in most areas. You can see if we zoom out a little bit more in the Pacific Northwest and the Northern Rockies, they are closer to 50-60% of normal, even 40% up here in the parts of Washington State along the coastal range. That'll be an area that we'll have to focus on for this upcoming fire season. Looking at 100-hour fuels, very moist in the dark green and green, a little drier here, low teens in parts of southern Utah and the Arizona Strip. Looking at satellite imagery, two storm systems coming together, one off the central California coast, another one with lots of cold air driving down into the Pacific Northwest. These two systems expected to combine across the Great Basin to produce widespread valley rains and mountain snows, and with this colder air coming in, snow levels will drop down to the valley floors in a lot of areas late tonight and on Tuesday. So we see later Monday afternoon, there's the northern storm system with the clouds and moisture, and there's the southern one through here. These will combine. And as usual with storm systems, we get increasing winds, excellent overall dispersion areas in the white. You can see the surface winds quite strong, 30 to 40 miles an hour in the orange to purple shades across many areas. Humidity, 25 to 35% in the south, but 50% or higher in the north with clouds and precipitation moving in. Now, very strong transport winds in the brown, gusting to over 50, 60 miles per hour. These will be very similar to your ridgetop winds. Mixing heights, very good also. A lot of them 5, 6, 7,000 feet above the ground. So dispersion and ventilation, not an issue for prescribed burning, probably more so too much of a good thing in terms of the winds. Now for Tuesday, and this is Tuesday afternoon, that storm system finally departs into parts of Wyoming and the northern Rockies, but it'll dump some good precipitation in about a 12 to 18 hour period. Excellent dispersion, looking for more of a northwest transport flow. Humidity, dry in the south, but still 30-40% in the north as drier air moves in late in the day. Strong transport winds out of the west-northwest. And mixing heights, again, really good mixing heights. On Wednesday, another storm system moving in off from the Gulf of Alaska, northern Pacific, into the Pacific Northwest, into Idaho, parts of western Wyoming, and far northern Nevada and Utah. You can see still overall great ventilation. Strongest surface winds will be in the north. Again, dry humidities, upper teens in the south, but once you get to the I-80 corridor and northward, humidities basically 40% or higher. Transport winds strongest closer to that storm system up in Idaho, lighter further south, good mixing heights. 3-day precipitation totals, these blue shades will be about a ½ inch to an inch of precipitation, which could be about 6 to 12 inches of snow, if not more, in some of the higher terrain areas, maybe 3 to 6 inches of snow in the higher terrain of Nevada. And then on Thursday, still an active pattern, this near stationary Pacific low pressure system will up to the north, maybe some clouds and showers across Idaho and far northern Utah. And then this storm system really drops down and takes shape on Friday. You see the area of green, that's solid cloud cover and moderate to heavy precipitation starting to expand and push further south and cover basically the entire Great Basin by Saturday. Colder snow levels also, so a lot of snow levels dropping down near the valley floor. And during that time, excellent overall dispersion, lingering clouds, cool temperatures and showers, mostly snow on Sunday. Days 4 and 5, this is a Thursday evening through Saturday evening precipitation. See heaviest in the north. Still missing parts of eastern Utah, but it moves in there for Saturday afternoon through Monday afternoon, covering much of areas that would have missed it the day before. So everyone gets in on it. This is the 7-day total precipitation, and widespread moderate to locally heavy precipitation seen through here. These purples indicate 1.5 to 2 inches of liquid equivalent. So this could be 15 to 30 inches of new snowfall in these areas of purple to red, and maybe 10 to 20 inches elsewhere in the higher terrain. Lower elevations will also see some snow, but also beneficial rains and to many areas as well, and hefty precipitation along the Sierra front. So they will get definitely heavy snows through there. Now the 8 to 14-day outlook continues with a colder than normal trend, much colder than normal across much of the Great Basin, especially the southern half. But overall, not as stormy. We will see colder air, maybe some light storms, but nothing very wet at this point. The real wetness is going to be in the next 7 days. And that concludes our briefing. Next one will be coming up this Wednesday. Have a great day.